And reports just in has it that there might just be a new variant, this time called the Demicron. Now, from what we're hearing, it's twin spikes of the Delta and Omicron variants, not a new and separate variant of the coronavirus, but the Delta and Omicron strains together, which we understand is fueling the COVID-19 cases around the world. Well, joining us to talk some more about this right now, Dr. Akele Ishaku is a virologist, and he joins us virtually. Thank you for joining us on the program. Tell us, is this confirmed that this is a new variant and one of concern involving the Omicron and Delta?
Thank you, Melissa, for having me, and compliment of the season. Scientists in India just discovered that there was an upsurge of Omicron variants in India. And so they went into genomic sequencing and they discovered that there was a swap in the genes between the Delta variant and the Omicron. And so they submitted the genomic data to the WHO for actually to come up with a position whether it is a variant of concern or not. But it has also been established in the United States of America that it is responsible for the tsunami uprising cases of SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19. Melissa said you will agree with me that in early December, cases of Omicron in the United States of America is just 1%. As we speak today, United States of America is counting 73% upsurge in number of cases of COVID-19 with increased hospitalization, increase in mortality rate. So because it has been established by genomic sequencing that there is a swap in the gene between Delta variant and the Omicron, that is why the name Demicron comes into existence. And so in the coming days to come, it will fully be established that whether it is the Delta variant of concern. But the Indian government have also on their own, established that it is a Delta, it is a variant of concern. It shows that Nigeria will just need to be alert. It shows that we need to mount securities, health securities on our border. It shows that we need to intensify surveillance. Even locally, Melissa said that there is a community transmission of Omicron in Nigeria. So Nigeria needs to go deeper into genomic sequencing to establish that. So we need to put more of our searchlight on our borders.
Dr. Akele Ishaku, really this is raising loads of concern, considering, that we are still yet to get over the new variant Omicron and what it's doing. So essentially quite a big threat. But we have a situation where some countries, including Nigeria, are yet to vaccinate a good number of its population. And then hearing about this, how can you reassure them that this is not necessarily a threat and that, we can survive this in view of the amount of vaccinations that we have? Because there's also the argument about the question of the vaccines and the boosters being enough to tackle these new variants that seem to be materializing.
Actually, Melissa, so we just need to be hopeful about it. Be hopeful that the future holds bright and 2022 holds bright, that will bring this pandemic to an end. But we just need to do more. Just like the way I said, we just need to do more. There are hopes that the existing vaccine can take care of the new variants. I first of all told you that from literature and from the data that was established in India, that based on genomic sequence, that there is a spike, that is a swipe in the gene mutation of both Omicron and Delta. And if the vaccines that we have on ground can be able to take care of the new variants, it shows that the mutation in the spike protein as a combination of these two variants, it shows that the vaccine can also be still potent. But the question is the availability of the vaccine. And so we need to intensify more a campaign on the uptake of the vaccine to be able to break the cycle of vaccine hesitancy, and also be able to think inwards that we need to do a lot of studies too. Melly said, we are just waiting for data from United Kingdom, from United States of America, and even from South Africa. How about the Nigerian data? What is Nigeria contributing to the global landscape in the fight of this pandemic? Since we have started giving out vaccine, we have not yet actually checked the antibody titer to look at how long do they last, whether we need a booster dose or not, because there are variations also in the genetic makeup. Israel is talking about the fourth dose because they have data to support that the antibodies does not last longer, and that's why they're initiating fourth dose. We have not yet taken, we are compelling people to take second dose, about the booster dose, and we are talking about the fourth dose. So we need to actually go into research to establish, does population within Africa, due to our genetic makeup, do we actually have a long-lasting immunity to these viruses, to these different new variants of viruses that are emerging? So these are quite key issues that we need to look into. Melissa, and I'm expecting that in 2022, we should be discussing about Nigerian data contributing to the global landscape of the public health pandemic.
Just before we let you go, as a virologist, I think you can best answer this question, and that is, what was the possibility that this is a virus or a strain that's coming up in India? Was there something that happened, was there a letdown of the rules? What exactly could have caused, both twin spikes, appearing as Demicron, and why is it peculiar to India?
Okay, it was actually, the genomic sequencing was done in India, but India also linked their data to the spike in Europe and part of America. And so they also established that most of these variants might have been responsible for the tsunami in Europe. So it is not only limited to India. If you look at the genomic modeling, they are also establishing that it is also linked to the spike in the United States of America. Right. Melissa, you know that this is a festive season all over the world. You know that a lot of people travel to meet with their loved ones. There are a lot of carnivals going on in India now, even in the United States of America, because of the Christmas season and the festive season in part of Europe. Here in Nigeria too, you can discover that we have entered into our fourth wave because of the season that we are in. We have lost our guards. The issue of the adherence to non-pharmaceutical interventions by even in Nigeria, a lot of citizens don't adhere to. This is because we are gradually losing our guards. And so it calls for a concern. I'm not a prophet of doom, but if you look at the modeling in terms of public health, genomic epidemiology, you will discover that we are expecting to have more positive cases as we turn down 2022 January. This is because a lot of schools will open up, workplaces will open up, closed centers, settings like banks, like corporate organizations will open up. People that don't adhere to non-pharmaceutical measures will have interface with people, and then there will be a systemic transmission of this variant. And we expect seropositivity in terms of community transmission. So it calls that we need to actually come up with stringent measures to see to how we can enact laws that people can actually, adhere to pharmaceutical measures. I was glad that one of the guests that you actually have an interface with, shared his, thoughts with you by saying that why can't we have an integrated approach that most of these paramilitary and security agencies can also be integrated in the fight of COVID. We expect the Federal Road Safety Corps Marshal members on the road, as they begin to check, inspect vehicle papers, also begin to, pass out the public health a message to people on the use of pharmaceutical, even in terms of police, like that. So this is quite key. Nigerians, COVID-19 is real, and then we begin to see how we can bring survival of this, and then begin to also integrate non-governmental organization to push the drive in terms of communication, because the National Orientation Agency are far left behind in this, and also so we need other non-governmental organization to come so that we can have an integrated approach to be able to fight this pandemic.
Thank you so much for taking out time to talk to us about this very important matter. Dr. Kiale Shako is a virologist. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.